Good morning and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I am in Hue, and for the next 2 days I will be exploring Hue. It is the old imperial city of Vietnam, so I will be exploring the history of Vietnam and hopefully some of the culture. I am currently at the Imperial Palace now. It costs 200,000 for an adult to get in, or you can get a combo with 2 tombs, which I am visiting tomorrow, 420,000, which is about £12. So this is the first view. So it's made up of a series of buildings in this ground. I'm currently in the pagoda, which you can see from outside of the Imperial City, and I've climbed up to look at the first building. Yeah, so far it looks very pretty, and I am excited to see what the other buildings look like. Unfortunately, I've only seen 2 information boards so far, being completely in Vietnamese, and everything else you have to pay for either a guided tour or an audio guide, which is about £6, which is the same price as the ticket if you for just here basically. So I am not going to do that. I'm just going to look at it and then I'm going to Google all the information later. But yeah, from what I know, it's the 16 to the 1800s or something, around that period. They use this. I'm not 100% sure. I will Google and let you know. But yeah, this is the first view. Now let's walk around and see what the other buildings look like. So I've probably explored about 75% of the Imperial Palace grounds now. I went in the actual palace. Unfortunately, it was very, very busy, so you couldn't actually see much because there's so many people just in the way. And now I'm in the gardens, which are absolutely stunning. And I was sat under this, I don't really know what you would call it. I was just sat there. And it was so peaceful and relaxing, I was actually starting to doze off. And then some Vietnamese guys started playing heavy rock metal with Vietnamese guys screaming at each other. So yeah, I left. But I mean, look at it. It's gorgeous. I'm gonna walk around the rest of it now. But so far, yeah, I would recommend. It is a shame that there's no information. Some of the buildings have got years that they were built on. So I now know it was actually early 1800s to mid 1900s that the buildings were built in. But there's no information at all, which is a bit disappointing. But yeah, it is what it is. That's what Google's for. Good morning and welcome to my second and final day in Hue. Today is going to be a busy day, so I have rented a scooter from the hostel. It costs 130,000 dong, which is about £4 or £5. I'll put the correct conversion on the screen. And I'm at the first temple. So if you remember yesterday, I bought the combo ticket that included the Imperial City and 2 temples/tombs. This is the Ming Meng tomb. So here is the first building. Now, originally it was constructed of 40 buildings in the early to mid 1800s. However, the buildings that were on the mountains surrounding either side of the lake, because it was a symmetrical tomb, are all gone. So we only have the buildings in the middle left. So we're going to explore them. But yeah, this is the first one. The man who it was built for reigned for about 21 years. And yeah, I think the statues are quite cool, and even the front gate. But yeah, I'm going to explore this. So once again, there is no information, obviously. There's like a little bit here and there, more than the city, but nothing on what this is. I am presuming, looking at it, this is the tomb, but who would really know? Yeah, as you can see, there's a lake here, and then there would have been, I think, 4 buildings on each side from the old map. And you can see same shaped lake on that side. There would have been 4 buildings there as well. This is actually quite pretty. Or maybe the actual tomb's in there then. I don't know, this is what I mean. It would be really good if they gave you some information. You pay to get in. A lot of the locals just use them as like a photo shoot places though. Don't actually care about the history. So yeah, you pay more if you want the actual history of the place. But this is cool. Okay then, so we did have a sign with some information. So that first part wasn't the tomb. The tomb is this walled in bit here. So basically what happened is they entered the first gate, and as they went through the buildings they had different rituals until he was brought into this walled in part underground, and that underground tunnel was then sealed off. So you can't actually see where the tomb is. But yeah, it's behind that wall. There is like some stairs with a gate, but the gate is locked, like locked, forever locked. So I don't really know why they even bothered putting the gate in, considering they went in through an underground channel. But yeah, it has been nice to visit. I'm glad I did it. Oh, and there was a sign in like the middle area that said it was built in 1843 and was stored in the 1990s with help from Toyota and the Japan government. Don't know why, but yeah. But yeah, that's cool. So this was the last building that they did the last ritual in before they somehow brought him from there underground and into there. So yeah, I'm gonna head back through now. There were some bits that I skipped because it was getting very busy. So I'm gonna go look at that now. And we will see if there's anything good. If not, we're going to the next tomb next. And apparently there's a big difference between this tomb and the other tomb, which is why I picked this one, because all of the combos include the other tomb, because it's like the main big tomb. And then they choose another tomb to go with it. And I chose this one because it apparently has the biggest difference between the two. So yeah, here it is. Okay, so I have made it to the second and last tomb that I am visiting today. So this is Din's tomb. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. It was built from 1920 to 1931, but he actually died in 1925. But this one has got a lot more of like a dark feel to it, and it's also stacked up on layers instead of like over the lake, and very peaceful. So the road is down at the grass down there, then you come up some stairs, you have the first 2 buildings, come up some more stairs, you have the first ritual building, more stairs, this is the main building, and then his tomb is set in the back at the middle of it. I think you can get to where it is. There's like a statue of him above like this raised platform, so I'm presuming that he is under the raised platform, but once again, no, not a lot of signs. But yeah, this one's pretty cool. It's a lot busier though, and I don't think you spend as much time here. There's like nowhere to sit down at all, whereas the other one had like peaceful benches you could sit down and like sit in the shade, look at the lake and stuff. This one, it's a lot more like you come, you look around, you leave, and that's it. And that's what I've done basically. So yeah, one last look at this, and now we are going to the next place, which is the abandoned waterfall. No, the abandoned water park. Don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it looks pretty good, so we're going to see what that looks like. So I have made it to the abandoned water park. So you have to head to the top of the lake, nearer the city. I headed to Nano Eco Hostel and then just kept driving until you can't drive any further. And there is a bit where you can park the bike and like buy drinks and rent bikes. However, it's free to enter because it's an abandoned park and the government repairs it so that it's safe to walk on. And it's free to park. And they go, it's a donation, and then you can have free like bicycles to ride around and a free cup of water. And he goes, 250,000. I'm like, no, 50,000. No, I'll walk. He was like, it's going to take 2 hours to walk. So that bridge that you can see there, I've been walking for about 3 minutes. That's the bridge to enter the water park. So I don't know how slow he walks, because it's definitely not going to take you 2 hours. But yeah, it's free, just say you're okay and just walk in. I think this part might actually be like a like a public park because of the path, the bins, the lake. I think it might be like a public walking path. So he couldn't even stop you from going for a walk. But yeah, I can start to see it already. So let's see what it looks like. So literally a few minutes later, so the whole thing takes less than 10 minutes to walk to. Now I'm here. I've just sat in a bench under the shade because it's very hot and humid today. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. You can climb up into the mouth. So I might do that in a minute. We'll look at how sturdy the stairs look. Yeah, this opened in 2004 and it was only operational for a few years and then they abandoned it. And it's not really clear as to why, especially considering it apparently cost millions to build. And then yeah, they just left it. But yeah, anyway, it's a really nice lake to walk around and just sit and get away from the city. Must be a church somewhere because it's 12 o'clock and the bells are ringing. But I can't see it anywhere. But yeah, here you have it. I don't know where the like the slides and stuff are. Apparently there's abandoned slides. Maybe they're around the other side, so we'll walk around it once I've cooled down and see if we can find any. So you can actually come inside the dragon, which I'm not sure how I feel about, considering the walls are falling apart. You can see the iron rods holding it up. And the bridge to get across the step to get onto the bridge is actually falling down. So we're going to be quick. But you've got like these tanks full of water. And then this is obviously under the stairs. I don't know what this is for. You can walk through. And you've got lots of tanks. Now the only thing I can think is it was also an aquarium. But I honestly don't know. This might have been like a bar because it's like you walk in, walk around. Although there's a few of them. So who actually knows? And then the other side I saw what looked like a bathroom, so we're going to head back round. Yeah, these are the stairs you can walk up. And while they do look relatively safe, I don't feel like risking it because I don't feel like the view is going to be that amazing from inside. I feel like the view is of it outside. But yeah, this is what I think might have been the bathrooms. So obviously you've got two. Yeah, definitely, like they were the toilets. They smell like they're still used. Yeah. And then I'm thinking they swam in the lake. And like these were diving platforms. But I'm going to walk around the rest of the lake and see if we can see any actual slides, because there are apparently some. But yeah. Currently you can walk into a room inside a tower. Yeah, and follow the towel around. And there's like all of these little hidden rooms in there. Okay, so this is interesting. So you can come inside but not inside, like inside the towel, and then the actual ball's there. And you can see like the rock and the outside of it. I'm guessing this also had something in it. Or maybe it was like a little pond. And there's another way to climb up. Now these stairs do look better. I personally still don't think it's worth the risk. But yeah. Or should I? We'll do it quick. Hopefully it'll be okay. See what it looks like. And so very quickly, this is the mouth that you can see. There is a wall to stop you climbing in there. But the view's okay. I am going to head back down there. You had the big stairs and then you have like this little spiral staircase. Okay then, so I've walked around the lake a little bit and into the forest, and I have found some of the water slides. Let's see if we can get any closer. There's an old building there. I wonder if this whole thing had like bits and pieces. Oh yeah, look, there's like a lazy river down there. I love a lazy river, mate. Got showers here, changing rooms. Just look how overgrown these slides are. I went to the top and like the trees are growing over the slides. I probably already put a video of that in, but yeah. This was probably a very fun water park. And now look. Yeah, so you had like 4 slides. Or 3, but one of them's a 2-person racer sort of thing. Lazy river. Splash pool over there. Yeah, it's a cool place to come. I mean, if you're nowhere in the area and you don't have a bike to ride, I wouldn't say like, oh, you need to order a Grab to get here. It's like must visit sort of thing. But if you're already in the area, yeah, I'd recommend coming. Why not? Even the walk just around the lake's really pretty. So yeah, I'm gonna head back to the bike. Then, what's the time? It's 12:30, so I'll probably get there. Ride back to town sort of way to find some lunch, and I need some more water. And then there's a couple of places near a town that I want to go to before I'm taking us to a sunset spot. So let's go and find everything basically. Okay, so I had some lunch, and then while I was near town I went back into the historic centre, like the first walls, because there are groups of walls. You have the first walls, and then you have the actual imperial city where the king would have lived. In the first lot of walls there is a lake that a few people told me to go to, and I saw it on Google Maps, so I went there. It's supposed to have loads of lotus flowers, however there was none. I don't know if it's not the season, but yeah, there wasn't a single one. I'll put a video in now of what it looked like. But I have just driven down to a free temple. So this is the Temple of Literature. Now there was one of these in Hanoi, but I didn't go. Mainly because it was busy and apparently quite expensive. It probably wasn't quite expensive. It was expensive in Vietnamese terms probably, but not in European terms. But anyway, didn't go to that. But they are referred to as the first universities in Vietnam, because they were like where people used to learn stuff. But yeah, this one is free. There isn't lots of it left, but as you can probably see behind me, that is like the bit where you give your offerings and light your incense. And then we have this. So I don't know if it was always like this, or if like the people that used to be here, buried here, possibly. I honestly don't know. There are some like old ruins, so I think what I'm currently sat on would have been the steps to get into the temple, so I don't think the temple's actually here, because you can see the blocks where the building used to be going all the way around. But yeah, it was a nice free thing to do. The pagoda is also free. I am going to try and get to that now, however there was a lot of traffic and a lot of people walking up there, so I don't know if I'm going to find parking and be able to get up there, but we will give it a go, and then it will be time to head to the sunset spot. The sun is still pretty high, so it is currently 3 o'clock. The sunset's just before 6, so I've got 3 hours to go to the pagoda, and then I could go to this, sorry, I've been bitten on my ankle, I'm scratching it. I could go to this like incense town, however apparently it's just for like pictures of the incense, so I can't really be bothered with that. So I think I might just go to the viewpoint early, try and find a shady spot and just sit and enjoy the peacefulness, hopefully. But yeah, I'm going to leave here because things are biting me. I will also say bring your sun cream, because I think I've got burnt. Put sun cream on my face but not my arms, and they're feeling a bit crispy. But yeah, we're going to see if we can go to the pagoda now. Enough of me talking. Okay, so I haven't gone to the free pagoda. Instead, I've driven the other way for 3 minutes to the Temple Huan Kong, which has its own pagoda, and it is busy, but nowhere near as busy as the other one looked like from the road. So yeah, I've walked around it. It's a very small place. I'm now just sat under this gorgeous little wooden structure next to a koi pond in the shade for a bit, because it's getting very hot. And yeah, I think I'm going to drive past the other pagoda, but if it's as busy as it was when I drove past this way, I don't know if I'm going to go up to it, because it was very, and I mean very busy, like causing traffic just to get past it busy. But yeah, a bit tired now. Don't know if you can tell. It's been a busy day and it's very hot, but yeah, no, it's good. It's been a good day so far. I'm very excited for the sunset. I'm gonna have to get up there and see how many clouds there are, because if it's too cloudy then I'm gonna head back to town before the sun sets. But yeah, we got to get up there first, so let's go there now. So I have made it to the sunset viewpoint. I've actually been here for about half an hour now. I drove through the incense village, didn't actually stop in it because I didn't realise I was driving through it. But I have to drive back that way so I can show you that after. But yeah, this is the view. It's actually a really nice view. However, sunset isn't for 2 hours. And I don't particularly want to sit here for 2 hours, honestly. I love a nice sunset, but I don't know how, but everything I had planned for today, I managed to do a lot quicker than I thought I would. And now I'm here with 2 hours to spare. Yeah, so I'll show you what this looks like, and then I'll show you what the incense village looks like. And then I will decide, because the incense village is only 5 minutes away, if I come back or if I call it a day and go and get in a nice cold shower. I'm bloody hot. You can probably see the sweat on me through the camera.